I hasten to you, continued Beecham, to tell you, Albert, that in this changing age, the faults of a father cannot revert upon his children. Few have passed through this revolutionary period, in the midst of which we were born, without some stain of infamy or blood to soil the uniform of the soldier, or the gown of the magistrate. Now I have these proofs, Albert, and I am in your confidence. No human power can force me to a duel which your own conscience would reproach you with as criminal, but I come to offer you what you can no longer demand of me. Do you wish these proofs, these attestations, which I alone possess, to be destroyed? Do you wish this frightful secret to remain with us? Confided to me, it shall never escape my lips. Say, Albert, my friend, do you wish it? Albert threw himself on Beecham's neck. Ah, noble fellow! Cried he. Take these, said Beecham, presenting the papers to Albert. Albert seized them with a convulsive hand, tore them in pieces, and trembling lest the least vestige should escape and one day appear to confront him, he approached the wax light, always kept burning for cigars, and burned every fragment. Dear, excellent friend, murmured Albert, still burning the papers. Let all be forgotten as a sorrowful dream, said Beecham, let it vanish as the last sparks from the blackened paper, and disappear as the smoke from those silent ashes. Yes, yes, said Albert, and may there remain only the eternal friendship which I promised to my deliverer, which shall be transmitted to our children's children, and shall always remind me that I owe my life and the honor of my name to you, for had this been known, oh, Beecham, I should have destroyed myself, or, no, my poor mother. I could not have killed her by the same blow, I should have fled from my country. Dear Albert, said Beecham. But this sudden and factitious joy soon forsook the young man, and was succeeded by a still greater grief. Well, said Beecham, what still oppresses you, my friend? I am broken-hearted, said Albert. Listen, Beecham. I cannot thus, in a moment relinquish the respect, the confidence, and pride with which a father's untarnished name inspires a son. Oh, Beecham, Beecham, How shall I now approach mine? Shall I draw back my forehead from his embrace, or withhold my hand from his? I am the most wretched of men. Ah, my mother, my poor mother, said Albert, gazing through his tears at his mother's portrait, if you know this, how much must you suffer? Come, said Beecham, taking both his hands, take courage, my friend. But how came that first note to be inserted in your journal? Some unknown enemy and invisible foe has done this. The more must you fortify yourself, Albert. Let no trace of emotion be visible on your countenance. Bear your grief as the cloud bears within it ruin and death, a fatal secret, known only when the storm bursts. Go, my friend, reserve your strength for the moment when the crash shall come. You think, then, all is not over yet? Said Albert, horror-stricken. I think nothing, my friend, but all things are possible. By the way. What? Said Albert, seeing that Beecham hesitated. Are you going to marry Mademoiselle Danglars? Why do you ask me now? Because the rupture or fulfillment of this engagement is connected with the person of whom we were speaking. How? Said Albert, whose brow reddened. You think M. Danglars? I ask you only how your engagement stands? Pray put no construction on my words, I do not mean they should convey, and give them no undue weight. No, said Albert, the engagement is broken off. Well, said Beecham. Then, seeing the young man was about to relapse into melancholy, let us go out, Albert, said he. A ride in the wood in the phaeton, or on horseback, will refresh you. We will then return to breakfast, and you shall attend to your affairs, and I to mine. Willingly, said Albert, but let us walk. I think a little exertion would do me good. The two friends walked out on the fortress. When arrived at the Madeleine, since we are out, said Beecham, let us call on M. de Monte Cristo. He is admirably adapted to revive one's spirits, because he never interrogates, and in my opinion those who ask no questions are the best comforters. Gladly, said Albert, I love him, let us call. Chapter 85. The Journey. Monte Cristo uttered a joyful exclamation on seeing the young men together. "Ah, ha!" said he, "I hope all is over, explained and settled." "Yes," said Beecham, "the absurd reports have died away, and should they be renewed, I would be the first to oppose them, so let us speak no more of it." "Albert will tell you," replied the Count, "that I gave him the same advice." "Look," added he, "I am finishing the most execrable morning's work." "What is it?" said Albert, "arranging your papers, apparently." "My papers, thank God, no, my papers are all in capital order, because I have none, but M. Cavalcanti's." "M. Cavalcanti's?" asked Beecham. "Yes, do you not know that this is a young man whom the Count is introducing?" said Mercier. "Let us not misunderstand each other," replied Monte Cristo, "I introduce no one, and certainly not M. Cavalcanti." "And who," said Albert with a forced smile, "is to marry Mademoiselle Danglars instead of me, which grieves me cruelly." "What? Cavalcanti is going to marry Mademoiselle Danglars?" asked Beecham. "Certainly. Do you come from the end of the world?" said Monte Cristo, "you, a journalist, the husband of renown?" "It is the talk of all Paris." "And you, Count, have made this match?" asked Beecham.